Alexander Beaufort Fraser-Harris. His inspired leadership and vision in guiding the post-war modernization and growth of Canada's Naval Air Service, which earned him the title Father of Canadian Naval Aviation, together with his skills as an aviator and as an astute operational planner, have proven to be of outstanding benefit to aviation in Canada. Alexander Beaufort Fraser-Harris was born on November 16, 1916 in Halifax, Nova Scotia. At the age of 13, he entered the Royal Naval College in Dartmouth, England as a cadet on a Canadian Commonwealth scholarship. He graduated as midshipman in 1936 and was sent for training. After earning his watchkeeping certificate, he joined the rapidly expanding Fleet Air Arm and began flight training. He was granted his wings on April 1, 1939, and went on to the Royal Naval Air Service. In 1939, while Hitler was consolidating his power in Europe, Lieutenant Fraser-Harris was leading 803 Naval Air Squadron based at Wick, Scotland. He took part in raids on Bergen Harbour, Norway, April 10, 1940, in which the German cruiser Königsberg was sunk. Fraser-Harris was credited with a direct hit and subsequently received the Distinguished Service Cross and a Mentioned in Dispatches award. He was also awarded a bar to his DSC after being shot down twice and escaping on both occasions. In 1943, Fraser-Harris was promoted to acting lieutenant commander and served with the Naval Air Service until the end of the war. Fraser-Harris transferred to the Royal Canadian Navy in 1946 to assist in the development of its naval aviation program. In July 1948, at the age of 32, he was promoted to acting captain in command of the newly created HMCS Shearwater. From 1950 to 1951, he served as commanding officer of the destroyer HMCS Nootka, operating in the Korean War theater. Fraser-Harris was made a Legionnaire of the Legion of Merit by the U.S. government in recognition of his outstanding leadership during the Korean conflict. His next appointment was to Naval Headquarters in Ottawa as Director of Naval Aviation from March 1953 to October 1955. He was a driving force in the modernization of the new light fleet carrier HMCS Bonaventure, with modifications that included the angled deck. He also was instrumental in acquiring the Grumman Tracker and the Banshee jet fighter. The skilled leadership of Fraser-Harris, now captain, enabled him to make these major changes in the Canadian naval aviation inventory. This period also saw the beginning of plans to operate helicopters from destroyers. In 1955, Fraser-Harris was appointed commanding officer of HMCS Magnificent, the first Canadian naval aviator to command a carrier. He commanded the Magnificent during the Suez Canal crisis in 1956, fulfilling Canada's commitment to the United Nations operation in Suez. Upon promotion to Commodore in 1962, he was appointed Assistant Chief of Naval Staff, Air and Warfare, where he served until July 1964. When plans were being made to unify the Canadian forces, Fraser-Harris opposed the concept. He argued that multi-role combat vessels with tactical air capabilities could support ground forces on overseas deployments. When centralization proceeded, he refused further promotions and retired from the Canadian Navy in April 1965 at the age of 48. In 1965, he began a new career in the yachting business as a charter boat skipper in the West Indies. Here began the golden years of his retired life. Fraser-Harris was married 4 times and had 3 children. He married his 4th wife, Jean McLeod, in 1976, and they settled in Annapolis, Maryland. Here he built a successful business as a yacht surveyor. He and Jean together wrote surveys of new boats for Nautical Quarterly for several years, giving them travel opportunities around the world. In 1985, the Fraser-Harrises returned to live in England. His zest for life was undiminished as he continued to ride horses and do relief carvings. In April 2003, he was made an honorary member of the Canadian Naval Air Group. The citation title reads, "In recognition for your outstanding contributions to Canadian naval aviation." He died at the age of 86 on October 19, 2003. Alexander Beaufort Fraser-Harris was inducted as a member of Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame at ceremonies held in Edmonton, June 2005.